And online people, please confirm my voice is audible or not.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. So as part of previous classes, we are discussing about outer joins. So within the outer joins, we completed discussing about left outer join, and we discussed about right outer join. So these are the topics we covered as part of our previous session. So overall, when we need to go for outer joins? That's the main topic, right? When we need to go for outer joins? To get
matched records plus
matched
unmatched records.
Plus unmatched records. We need to go for outer joins. And if you are given the left outer join, what will happen? It will give all records of left table from right table.
Matched records only.
For matched records, it will give corresponding values. And for unmatched records, what will happen for unmatched records? It will give null values. It will give all the records of right table, and from left table, wherever we are having the matched records, we are going to get the corresponding values. And for unmatched records, what will happen? It will give the null values from the left table. This is the way simply we can able to understand what is the right outer join and what is the left outer join. Now in the same way, today we try to understand full outer join. Just we'll see the example.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Regarding right outer join, the process kind of changed the output. You said us to try out, right? So I tried, but the expected output was not coming in the MySQL prompt.
Which one? I didn't get that.
Right outer join.
Okay, right outer join. What happened?
The internal analyzation which we did, yeah, the records pattern were not same.
Well, can we discuss at the end of the class about this?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Okay, so for example, I'm taking the same examples, and just here I'm giving full outer join. So if you want to write the full outer join query, what we can do here? Instead of giving the rights, just we can apply it as a full outer join. Okay, so writing the query is very simple for any kind of join, because we are going to write the same SQL query. Only thing is nothing but by depending on the requirement, either we are giving it as a inner join or left outer or right outer or full outer. Now in this example, for example, here I'm giving it as a full outer join. So in the first step, what will happen? Any guesses? It will give all the records of what? All the records of
Both table.
left and right tables. So it will give all the records of both left table and right table. Second statement we can able to say, from left table, wherever we are having matched records, it will give corresponding values. And wherever we are not having matched records, will populate null values. So what I'm telling here, from the left table, wherever we are having the matched records, for all those records, it is going to give the corresponding data. But for unmatched records, what is going to happen? It will give output as a null values only. In the same way, from the right table also same thing is going to happen. From the right table, wherever we are having the matched records, it will give the corresponding values. And wherever we are having the unmatched records, it is going to populate the values as a null values. Indirectly, what is going to happen? In the full outer, it is going to give all the records of both left table and right table. In the left outer join, what is happening? It is giving all the records of only left table. In the right outer join, it is giving all the records of only the right table. But coming to full outer join, what is happening here? It is giving all the records of both left table and right table. At the same time, wherever we are having the matched records, it is going to give the corresponding values. Wherever we are having the unmatched records, it is going to populate the data as a null value. We'll see the example. With the example, you can able to get a clear picture. Now see, for example, here, just for understanding, I'm adding the one more column as a d.department ID here. In this query, just for understanding what I'm doing here, I'm adding the one more column as a d.department ID. Now, as part of execution of this query, and total how many columns we are going to get? EID column, ename column, and department ID column. Those three columns are coming from the employee table. And next we are going to get the DID column and DNAME column. Those two columns are coming from the department table. Indirectly, you are going to get all these three columns, and you will get these two columns also. And these are coming from employee table. And these two are coming from the department table. Okay. Now, as we discuss, as per the statements, whatever we discuss in the notepad, and what are the records we are going to get? It will give all the records of the left table and all the records of the right table. First thing we'll see from the left table. From the left table, how many records we are having total? Total 6 records. So for that reason, it will give all these records on top of your output. Because we given the column for only EAD column and ename column and DAD column. For that reason, it is populating data for all these columns on top of your output. In the same way, from the right table, what will happen? It will give all the records of your right table. Now see, for 10, do we have any match records or not here? We have the match record. For that reason, here we are getting value as a 10xs. Second 10, again we are having the match record. We are getting output as a 10xs. And 20, again we are having the match record. We are getting output as a 20yy and 20yy. For 30, do we have match record or not? Yes, for that reason, here also we are getting value as a 30zz. But tell me, for 40, do we have any match record here? No, for that reason, what will happen here? It will populate these values as a null and null. But tell me, from the left table to right table, when we are doing the comparison, in the right table, we don't have the match record. For that reason, from the right table, it is populating the values as a null. But what is the first statement we discussed? It will give all the records of left table, all the records of the right table. Now see, from the right table, have we received all the records? You received 10xs, you received 20yy, you received the 30zz. What is the one more record pending in the right table? 50a. For that reason, this record also will be coming on top of your output. But tell me, for this 50 record, as per the join condition, in the left table, do we have any match record for 50? No. If there is no match record, what is going to happen? It will give output as a simply null values and like this. What is going to happen? If you observe here, it is giving all the records of left table. It is giving all the records of the right table. Wherever we are having the match records in the left table or right table, from the both the tables, what is going to happen? We are getting output as a null values and this is the way simply we can able to understand how it is given the output as part of using the full outer join. It is giving all the records of left table, all the records of the right table. From the left table, we are getting the null values wherever we are having the unmatched record. From the right table also, we are going to get the null values wherever we are having the unmatched record. This is the way simply we can able to understand how full outer join is going to work in our internal database system. Okay. Any questions up to here? Again, please ask me. No questions? Okay. If no questions, now we'll see one real-time example. With the real-time example, we'll try to understand how we need to use all these kind of outer joins and just a few minutes. I will type the data in the table. Okay. Now see, for example, this is the data we are having in the both the tables. And if you are going to work in the insurance sector, we can able to see two different tables. One is the policy table and another one is the claims table. As we discussed earlier, in the policy table, what data we are going to maintain? We are maintaining all the policies which are available in the company. We are maintaining all that information in the policy table. We are having the policy ID, policy name, duration of the policy, how much premium amount we need to pay for that policy. All this information we can able to see in the table called as a policy table. Coming to claims table, what data we can able to see? We can able to see the claims information. Who is applying for the claim? Customers will apply for the claim. So that's the reason in this table also we can able to see the customer ID and we can able to see the claim amount. When a customer can able to apply for the claim amount? If a customer is having the policy in the company, then only he can able to apply for the claim. And for example, for one, he is having the 101 policy in the company. That's the reason he can able to apply for the claim. Coming to 2, he is having the 102 policy. That's the reason he can able to apply for the claim. Indirectly, as a customer, if he is having the policy in the insurance company, then only he can able to apply for the claim amount. All this information we are maintaining in the second table called as a claims table. Okay. Now my requirement is like this. First, try to understand the requirement. As a business person, I want to understand how much claim amount we in the sense company and company paying for each and every policy to customers. So try to understand the requirement first here. What is the requirement? As a business person, I want to understand how much claim amount company paying to each and every policy to the customers. Try to understand the requirement and try to give the answer as per the requirement. What is the data we are expecting in the output screen? Who will give the requirements in the real time? Client only. In the client also we are having the business people only. Now just assume that I am the business person or I am the business people. As a business people, what I want to understand here in my company, I want to understand how much claim amount company paid, stop paying I will say, company paid to each and every policy to customers.
Depending on the pay ID.
Okay, so see here, as indirectly as per the requirement, for every policy, I want to understand how much claim amount we paid to the customers, which is nothing but for every policy ID, I want to get information for total claim amount. Okay, this is the information I want to get it. Now you try to give the answer. For the purpose of getting this output, what is the query we need to frame, or what is the query we need to prepare? Or before going to the query, first question, any question on the requirement side?
No.
Again, I'm repeating the same thing, and if any small question also, please ask the question. Otherwise, what will happen? On the same example, next 10 minutes we are going to spend. If you are unable to understand the requirement, you cannot able to understand what we are going to discuss in the next 10 minutes only. That's the reason. If you have any small question also, please raise it. Accordingly, we can able to discuss about the next topic. So here, what is the requirement? For each and every policy, I want to understand how much claim amount we paid to the customer. That is the information I want to get here. For the purpose of achieving this requirement, what is the query we can able to frame? Try to give the answer now.
Only we can use the claim table first.
Select PID, comma. You want to get the total claim amount or you want to get the individual claim amount?
So
I want to get the total claim amount. So we have to give it as a
sum of claim amount.
Claim underscore amount. Someone is saying distinct. That's a perfectly wrong answer. And we need to give sum of claim amount as total underscore claim underscore amount. After that,
from
which table?
claims.
If you observe here, PID column and claim amount column, both the columns we are having in which table? In the claims table. So might be people are thinking we can give it as a simply claims table. What next?
Group by
PID.
We need to give the group by clause because for every policy ID, I want to get the total claim amount. And indirectly, you want to perform the aggregation at the column level or at the table level? At the column level. The column level, whenever you want to perform the aggregation, what is the keyword we have to use? We need to use the group by clause only. In the group by, we are given the PID, which is nothing but for every policy, it is going to give the total claim amount. What next? That's all.
Group by.
Yeah, we upload the group by now. Group by policy ID. Now tell me if I'm going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? For every policy ID, it is going to perform the sum of claim amount. Here, how many policies we are having? If you observe, 101 is a policy, 102 is a policy, and 103 is a policy, and 104 and 105. Okay, so these are all the policies we are having in the claims table. Coming to 101, what is the total? It's around 2 lakhs. Coming to 102, it's around 4 lakhs. Coming to 103, 6 lakhs. And coming to 104, is giving at 3 lakhs. And coming to 105, 2 lakhs. Now see here, once I'm going to run this query will give the output like this only. But tell me, as per the requirement, is it the correct output? Is it the correct output? What I'm asking, as a business person, I want to understand how much claim amount company paid to all the customers for each and every policy. And now see here, where we are having all the each and every policy information in the claims table or in the policy table. In a company, whatever the policies we are maintaining, we can able to see all the policies information in the table called as a policy table. Here, what policies we are having? 101, 2, 3, 4, and 8 and D. But in the output, what we are getting? We are getting 101 data, 102 data, 103 data, 104 data. But coming to 108, are we getting any data here in this query by using this query? No. And tell me, for this policy, have we paid any amount to the customers? For this 108 policy, we haven't paid any kind of amount to the customers only. Indirectly, as per the requirement, for this 108, what is the data we are expecting? Null or zero?
Zero.
Expecting output as a zero only. So see here, null is nothing but kind of a unknown value. Whenever we are giving the data to the business people, what we have to say? For 108 policy, we paid the null amount, or we need to say for 108 policy, we paid the zero amount. What is the correct statement? We need to say for 108 policy, we paid the 0 rupees to the customer. That is the way we need to give the output, which is nothing but I want to get output for 108 also. But in the 108, I want to get output as a 0 only. But tell me, if I am going to run this query, can we able to get the 108? This query, if I am going to run. This query we are running on what table? Only on the claims table. From the claims table, you are going to fetch the PID column. In the PID column, we don't have any 108 value. For that reason, here you are going to, we are not going to get the 108 by running this query only. But my requirement is, I want to get data for 108 also. Then what I need to do? Just for understanding, I can able to say, if I'm going to run this query, you will not get this record. That's the reason I'm saying this is the wrong answer. Then what is the correct answer? First, try to understand, as per the requirement, you want to get data from the single table or you want to get data from the both the tables?
Both the table.
Here, try to understand from the real-time perspective how you need to think, and by seeing the query, immediately some people will think that PID column we are having in the claims table, claim amount column we are having in the claims table. By using only claims table, we can able to achieve the requirement. People will think like that. But as per my requirement, what I'm asking, for each and every policy, I want to get the total claim amount. In general, where we are going to maintain each and every policy information in the policy table. If you see this example only, we are having the 108 policy, but for 108 policy, none of the customer applied for the claim amount. That's the reason you are not having that record in the claims table. Is it possible in the real time or not? Some people taken the policy, but so far they haven't applied any claim amount for the policy in the company. And in the situation, you cannot able to see this policy ID in this table. But as per my client requirement, I want to get output for such kind of policies also. For those policies, I want to get the claim amount as a 0. Indirectly, as per our requirement, you need to get data from only one table, or you need to get data from the two tables. I need to get data from the two different tables. And now you only try to give the answer. Out of these two columns, which column you want to get from the first table, which column you want to get from the second table? PID column we need to get from where? First table. From first table, which is nothing but policy table. What about total claim amount? Do we have claim amount in the first table? No. So obviously, this column we need to get from the claims table. Now indirectly, as per the requirement, you want to get data from one table or two tables? Two tables. In between these two tables, what operation you want to perform?
Join.
Join is a keyword. I'm asking what operation you want to perform. You want to perform the merging operation as per the requirement. We'll discuss about the join, we'll discuss about the queries and first should try to understand the requirement in the real time, how we need to analyze the requirement, how we need to come up with the joint solution. For that reason, I'm giving the step-by-step answer. As per the requirement, you want to get data for 2 columns. Here, I want to get data for each and every policy. For that reason, I need to get data from the policy table for the PID column. Claim amount I need to get from the claims table. Now, indirectly, you need to get data from the 2 different tables. In between these 2 tables, what operation we are performing? We are performing merging operation. Will you agree or not? We are performing merging operation, and while performing the merging operation, you want to perform merging operation vertically or horizontally?
Horizontal.
I want to perform merging operation in horizontal direction. If you want to perform merging operation in the horizontal direction, what we need to apply? There we need to apply the joins. Okay, by applying the joins, you can able to achieve the requirement. And now to apply the joins, how we need to frame the SQL query? Yeah, that also we'll discuss. So someone is asking this 105 policy is not available here. Intentionally given that one. We'll discuss about that. Okay. Now see, if you want to frame the query by using the joins, what we need to do? Select. For now, I'm giving it as a star from policy table. In the same query, I want to add the one more table. What I need to do? Just we need to apply join with claims table. After that, whenever we are applying the join, compulsory we have to give the join condition by using which keyword? By using the on keyword. Now we need to give the join condition. As per this example, what is the join condition we need to pass? PID is equal to PID. Now instead of giving the PID, what we need to provide? We need to give it as a policy dot PID is equal to claims dot PID. But I don't want to type the complete table name. What I can do? Give alias name, for example, here I'm giving P and here I'm giving it as a C. So with that I can give it as a here
P dot PID.
P dot PID is equal to C dot PID. Indirectly, in between these 2 tables, we are checking the condition based on the PID column. So we are giving it as a P dot PID is equal to C dot PID. And now after this, in the select statement, if I'm given the star, what will happen? It will give you data for all the columns. But as per the requirement, not all the records on it, all the columns. Now, as per the requirement, you want to get all the columns or you want to get only particular columns? I want to get only particular columns. What columns you want to get? PID column and total claim amount column. Now here I'm giving it as a
P dot PID.
PID, comma, I'm giving claim underscore amount. Now, if I'm going to run this query as is, what will happen? It will give the error. What is the error we are going to get?
Ambiguous. PID
we are going
is
to get the ambiguous error because same PID column present in the policy table and same column present in the claims table also. For that reason, this query will give output as a ambiguity error. Now we need to avoid that ambiguity error, we have to give the alias name. Now which table we need to give?
P dot PID.
P dot PID or C dot PID?
P dot PID.
Why P dot PID?
We need all records from the left table.
As per the requirement, I want to get data for all the policy IDs from the policy table. That's the reason you have to give it as a P dot PID ID. Earlier we discussed about we need to give the table alias name. Now by using this example, try to understand which alias name we need to pass as per the requirement. In the both the tables we are having the PID, but as per the requirement, in which table we are having all the policy IDs in the policy table. That's the reason here we have to give it as a C dot PID. What next? This column C dot claim amount. But as per the requirement, you want to get the summarized data, you want to get the detailed data. I want to get the summarized data. Indirectly, you want to get the total value. For that reason, here we are applying the sum function. I'm giving alias name is, for example, total underscore claim underscore amount. This is the alias name we are giving. And what else we have to add here in this query? We need to add the group by class because we are applying the aggregate function. We have to give it as a group by PID. Tell me still, is the complete query or still we need to add any other thing?
We need to add.
What we need to add? No, before adding the join. Now someone is saying we need to add the type of the join. Before adding the type of the join, do we need to add any other things?
The value is 0.
No, that also we are going to get after performing the summing operation. But before that, do we need to perform any other operation? If you see group by class, what I'm giving? PID column. how database system again can understand from which table you want to get the PID.
P dot
P
PID.
dot PID.
Wherever you are going to give the PID and there compulsory we have to give the alias name in the select statement or in the join condition or group by clause. Wherever we are going to give the PID column, compulsory we have to give the alias name. Otherwise, what will happen? Your query will give the syntax error saying that PID column is ambiguous for that reason. Here also we have to give the alias name. Here what we have to give? P dot PID or C dot PID?
P dot
Also
PID.
we have to give it as a P dot PID. Okay. Now tell me.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
whatever we given in a select statement,
Hmm.
all those we have to given in a group base. So,
Yeah, correct.
for
So-
me, it's not working without giving.
It won't work. So that's the reason only. So whatever the columns we are giving in the select statement, we need to pass all those columns in the group by clause. In this example, in the select statement, how many
Some-
columns we are giving? One column. In the group by clause also, we need to add that column. So with that only we can able to get the output. Okay. Now tell me, if I'm going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? Or tell me how many records we are going to get. This query is correct or not, that we'll discuss after some time only. But for example, if I am going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? How many records this
5.
query will throw in the output? Someone is saying 5. Any other answers?
Yes, sir.
4.
5,
Any other answers?
5 only.
5.
No. 6. It will
6. Offline people, any other answers? 4, 5, 6. Try to recap all the topics, whatever we discussed from the last 3 days. 3-4 days. What we are applying? Join. Whenever we are applying the join, so by default, if you are not giving any type of join, it will take it as an inner join. What inner join will do? It will give only the matcher records. Now for 101, how many matcher records we are having? 1, 2, 2 matcher records we are having, which is nothing but it will give 101 and 101. And next one, coming to 102, how many matcher records we are having? 2 matcher records, 101 and 102. And coming to third one, how many matcher records we are having? 103 and 103. Coming to 104. 104, only one matcher record only. Now actually these many records we need to get, but tell me really, do these many records are we going to get? After applying the join, next what I'm applying? Group by. What is the meaning of grouping? It is grouping all the similar values, which is nothing but it is giving 101 one time, 102 one time, 103 one time, and 104 one time only, which is nothing but total how many number of records we are going to get as per the query? This query will give only 4 records on top of your output only. So it is not given the 5 records, it is not given the 6 records. Now, for example, if I am not going to apply the group by clause, then what will happen? Might be you are going to get total 7 records. But in this query, after applying the join, we are adding the group by clause also. For that reason, it is grouping all the similar values only. For that reason, it is giving output for 101, 102, 103, and 104. After that, it is going to perform the summing operation. With the summing operation, you are going to get the output data like this. But tell me, is it our expected output? What you want to get? I want to get all the policy IDs. At the same time, I want to get the 108 also, but I'm not getting the 108. Then what I need to do? Why it is not given the 108? Why it is not given the 108? Because for 108, there is no matcher record in the right table. That's the reason it is not given the 108 on top of my output screen only. But my requirement is I want to get the 108 also. Indirectly, what you want to get? You want to get matcher records plus you want to get the unmatched record also. Now, if you want to get both matcher plus unmatched record, what type of join we need to apply?
Left join.
To apply outer join. But in the outer join, what are the different types of outer joins we are having?
Left to right.
We are having left outer join, we are having the right outer join, we are having the full outer join. Now we need to go for definitely outer join because as per the requirement, I want to get the matcher record plus unmatched record. That's the reason we need to go for the outer join. But what type of outer join we need to apply here?
Left outer join.
Left, okay. Why?
Left outer.
Any specific reason?
Because
we have to get all the records from the left.
Someone is saying we need to go for left outer join, but I want to go for right outer join. So what I need to do in this query? Someone is saying we need to go for left outer join, but my question is I want to go for the right outer join. So what I need to do in this query?
Outer join.
Then in the
So
select
here,
statement, in the
as per
select
the
statement,
requirement, what is the requirement here
The
now?
table names.
From
Table
the
names.
policy table, I want to get all the policy IDs and now what is the position of the policy table? Left table or right table? Policy table is present at the
Left table.
top, which is nothing but this is the left table.
Left
Now
table.
indirectly, as per the requirement, you want to get all the records of the left table or right table. From the left table, I
Left
want to
table
get
only.
all the records. So what we can do here? Simply we can able to
Left
apply the left
Left.
outer join. Okay. Now, for example, see here, I am going to write the query like this. Now here I want to apply the right outer. For example, I want to apply the right outer join. Now, what is the modification we need to perform in this query?
From
Just
policy,
From
policy,
policy,
from
policy
remove
should
Give
be
it as
like
a
claims.
claims.
C.
Claims.
Claims.
Give it as a
policy P.
policy.
P.
Okay, now see here, both queries are same or both queries are different. Both are going to give the same
Give
kind of
same
output or
thing.
both are going to give the different kind of output. Both are going to give the
Going to
same
give the
kind of
same
output.
kind of
And
output.
just what we have done here, we changed the
Okay.
position of the table by depending on my convenience. And here I am given the policy table as a left table. That's the
Left
reason
table.
we are giving the left outer
Left
join.
outer join.
But in this example, I am given the policy table as a right table.
Right table.
Now tell me in this example, you want to get all the records of right table or left table? In
Left
the
table only.
second query. In the
Left
second
table
query,
only.
I want
Right
to get
table.
all the records of the right table, which is
right
nothing but
table.
my policy
Right
table. That's the reason in this query we need to apply the right outer join. Now you tell me when we need to go for left outer join or right outer join, or my question is on what basis we need to decide whether we need to go for left outer join or right outer join. On what basis we are deciding?
Actually, we need to go for left outer join and right based on the number of
First point we need to
records.
understand.
Number
First
of
we need to
records.
understand what is the main table.
Yes.
What is the main table as per the requirement? Now, as per this requirement, what is the main table? Policy table or claims table? From the policy table, I want to get each and every policy, which is nothing but here policy table is going to act as a main table as per the requirement. Second point I can able to say by depending on position of the main table in SQL query, we can go for either left outer join or right outer join. Okay. Now see here what I'm telling. In this example, policy table is going to act as a main table. Now tell me who is going to write these queries? You only write. Now,
Yes.
for example, when you are writing the query, if you are putting the policy table as a top table or left table, then what type of join we need to apply? Left outer.
Left outer.
For example, depending on your convenience, you want to give the policy table as a right table or bottom table, then what type of join we need to apply? We need to
Right.
apply the right outer
Right.
join, and indirectly some people are getting a lot of confusion when we need to go for left outer, when we need to go for the right outer. It's very simple statement. First to try to understand as per the requirement what is the main table. Once you understand the main table, by depending on the position of the main table, either you can go for the left outer or we can go for the right outer. In our example, policy table is going to act as a main table. In this query, what I'm doing, I'm giving this table as a top table. For that reason, I'm giving it as a left outer. But in this query, what I'm doing, I'm giving the policy table as a bottom table. For that reason, I'm giving it as a right outer join. Now tell me overall, both the queries are going to give the same output or different output? Both the queries are going to give the same kind of output. And now for some time, we'll keep this query beside. Okay, now for example, I want to give the policy table as a top table. With this one, what will happen? You are going to get the output. Now you tell me, if I am going to run this query, how many records we are going to get? We are applying the left outer. So what is going to happen by default?
5 records.
It will
All
give
the records
all
from
the
left
records
side.
of your left table. And from the right table, it is going to verify the matcher records. Coming to 101, there is a matcher record. How many matcher records we are having? 2 matcher records. After that, it is going to perform the grouping operation. After that, it is going to perform the summing operation.
Sum
With that, you can get output as a simply 2 lakhs. And 102, 4 lakhs. 103, 6 lakhs. And 104, 3 lakhs. Now tell me for 108, what is going to happen? What type of join we are applying? Left outer join.
Left outer
Whenever
join.
we are going to apply the left outer, it will give all the records of the left table. Now it given the 101, 2, 3, 4. But coming to 8, what is going to happen? There is no matcher record in the right table.
Null.
If there is no matcher record, what is going to happen?
Null
You
value.
can output as
Null
a
value. Null
null.
value.
But as per the requirement, you want to get this value as a null or you want to get this
We
value
have
as a 0. I want to get this
Zero.
value as a 0.
Zero.
Now tell me how we can able to get this value as a 0. What is the change we need to perform in this SQL query?
Java.
Where condition?
Where condition? Why
No,
where
no.
condition?
No, in the select condition, we need to add a coalesce.
Okay, where we need to add the coalesce?
In the select statement.
Yeah, in the select
Select.
statement only where we need to add the coalesce.
Claim amount.
Like case statement, we need to use case statement.
Coalesce of sum of claim amount,
Comma 0.
0. This is the way simply we can able to frame the query only. So actually, if you are given the claim amount for 108, what is happening? We are getting output as a null. On top of null, if you are going to perform the sum operation, again we are getting the output as a null. But what is my requirement? Wherever we are getting the null, I want to convert that null value as a 0. For that reason, we can give it as a coalesce of sum of c dot claim amount comma 0. So what is going to happen? First record 2 lakhs comma 0, it's giving output as a 2 lakhs. Next record 4 lakhs comma 0 is giving output as a 4 lakhs. But what about fifth record? Null comma 0. What will happen? It will give output as a 0. Okay. Otherwise, what we can do here is, if you want, we can write the same query like this also. Sum of, here I will apply the coalesce function. Coalesce of c dot claim amount comma 0. Now tell me, is the correct query or wrong query? What is the difference between this query and this query? In this query, what I am doing? I am applying the coalesce after performing the sum operation, which is nothing but when we are performing the sum operation on top of the null, what will happen? We are getting output as a null only. After doing the sum operation, we are applying the coalesce function here. But here, what I am doing? Before applying the sum function only, we are going to apply the coalesce function, which is nothing but for 108, there is no match record. You are going to get output as a null. Now, when we are given the coalesce of null comma 0, what will happen? It is given the value as a 0. On top of that, we are going to perform the sum operation. With that, you are going to get the same output or different output. Obviously, we are going to get the same output only. Now, indirectly, if I am going to run this query or this query, both are going to give the same kind of output. We are getting output as a policy ID, and here we are going to get output as a total claim amount. Okay. Now this is the way simply we need to understand how we can able to frame the query by applying all the concepts only. Now you observe here in the single query, how many topics we clubbed? We applied the join, we applied the group by, we applied the sum function, we applied the coalesce function. All these topics already we discussed individually only, but in this real-time example, what we are doing? Just we are combining all the topics into single query by depending on my requirement. This is the way only you are going to write the queries as part of our real-time projects only. You need to have basic knowledge about each and every topic individually. At the same time, you should understand how you need to combine all these topics together by depending on the real-time example. As part of this example, we are applying the joins, outer join, we are applying the group by, we are applying the sum function, we are applying the coalesce function. By combining all these things, we can able to frame the query like this. But tell me, still is it the complete query? No. If you see actually, as per the requirement, if you ask, is the complete query or still we need to do anything?
105.
But tell me, do we have 105 policy in my company?
No.
In my company, do I have 105 policy? No, right?
No.
Indirectly, as per the requirement, what data you want to get? I want to get this data only because in my company, I am having only 5 policies. What are those policies? 101, 102, 103, 104, and 108. What is the intention of the policy table? Whatever the policies you are having in the company, we are maintaining all those policies information in the table called as a policy table. When client is given the requirement like this, what we need to do? We need to give all the policies which are present in the main table called as a policy table. As per the requirement, this is the correct output only. Now, one more question here. Just observe. Tell me, in the claims table, do we have all the valid records or we are having any invalid records? In the claims table, do we have all valid records or do we have any invalid records in the claims table?
We have 105 PID.
First record is a valid record or not? Customer ID 1, he is applying the claim for the 101 policy. This policy is present in my company. That's the reason we can able to call this is a kind of a valid record. 102 available valid record. 103 available valid record. But coming to 105, tell me, do we have this policy in the company? No, right? No. Indirectly, can we call it as an invalid record or not? Yes. This we can call it as an invalid record, or in the real-time projects only, these kind of records we can able to call it as a orphan records. What's the meaning of orphan? In Telugu, second type another andi. So which is nothing but this record is not having any parent record in the parent table. That's the reason these kind of records we can able to call it as a orphan records andi. Now my requirement is from this claims table, I want to find out all the orphan records. I want to find out all orphan records. Hope you understood what is the meaning of orphan record. Orphan record is nothing but if your record is not having the parent record in the parent table, such kind of records only we can able to call it as a orphan record. Now in this example, what is the parent table? Policy table. What is the child table? Indirectly claims table. Now in the claims table we are having the 105 record, but this 105 is not present in the policy table. That's the reason this record I am calling it as a orphan record. Now you tell me, in the real-time projects, if you are going to maintain this kind of record, is it a valid record or invalid record?
Invalid.
Simply we can able to say it as a this is a kind of a invalid record. Now in the same real-time project, do we need to maintain this kind of invalid record or we need to remove the invalid record? You have to remove the invalid record. But if you want to remove the invalid record, first what we need to understand? We need to understand what are the invalid records we are having in the table. That we need to understand. Now you try to do the answer. How I can able to find out this invalid record from this table?
By
Using
comparing
minus-
with the
using
First
values
question,
on both sides.
requirement is clear or not?
Yeah.
Requirement is clear? Offline people? Okay. Now try to give the answer. First question, what is the output we are expecting here? If requirement is clear, try to give the answer. As per the requirement, what is the output we are expecting?
Customer ID.
Only the record 105.
Only 7.
Yeah.
I want to get this output.
10 107.
I want 107. Why 107?
Claim.
Only 105.
105. Yes.
See, I want to get output as a policy ID. In the policy ID, I want to get data for the 105. Okay. Now you try to give the answer. What is the query we need to prepare?
Select PID.
Offline people, select
PID
okay
from table.
Which table?
Any policy table you can take. Policy table.
Select the C
That
dot
policy table
yeah.
means P dot PID.
C dot.
Select P dot PID.
Giving join. Just I'm giving claims table C. After that, we need to go for on condition. In the on condition, giving C dot PID is equal to
Not
P
equal.
dot PID. Not
equal.
equal to. Okay. Online people are saying not equal to only. Okay.
And also P dot PID. Select.
P dot PID. Okay. Other people try to give the answer. Offline people also. Is the correct query or wrong query? If it is wrong, why? If it is yes, how?
No. C dot PID, not P dot PID. C
Okay.
dot.
I will give C dot PID. Still, is it the correct query or wrong query?
And the table should be swap, I think so.
See, what is the meaning of joint condition? Whatever the joint condition it is going to satisfy, it will give all the records only. Now, if you are given the not equal to, tell me how many records this query will throw in the output, any guesses? Whether it is correct or wrong, that's a different story. If I am going to run this query as easily, how many records we are going to get? See, for example, first record, 101 is equal to 101 as per the condition. It's not a valid condition only because I given the not equal to. Okay. Now coming to 101 not equal to 102, is it a satisfied condition or not? It's a satisfied condition. That's the reason we are going to get that record. 101 not equal to 103, satisfied condition. 101 not equal to 102 again, satisfied condition. 101 not equal to 104, satisfied condition. 101 not equal to 105, satisfied condition. 101 not equal to 103, satisfied condition. Only with the first record, if it is going to check all the records in the second table, how many records we are going to get? 6 records. What about second record? 6 more records. Third record, 6 more records. Indirectly, you are going to get total 36 records only. Is it clear? We are applying the not equal to. Okay, people are definitely people are giving this kind of answers only as part of the interviews or as part of real time also. When we are given the not equal to, what is the meaning of joint condition? Wherever joint condition is going to satisfy, that record is coming in the output. What is the condition we are giving? Not equal to condition. Coming to 101, how many not equal to values we are having? 102 is not equal to, 103 is not equal to, 102, 104, 105. Indirectly, all these 5 records are satisfying the not equal to condition. Indirectly, with the only first record scanning of the second record, second table, you are going to get 5 records. In the same way, second record, it is going to scan all the records of the second table. Again, how many unmatched records, how many not equal records we are having? Again, might be you are having 5 or 6 like that. You are going to get around 36 records or 40 records only. But my requirement is, you want to get 1 record or 36 records? I want to get only 1 record. It's a simply wrong answer. Any other answers?
Sir, can we use minus operator?
You want to use minus operator? Okay. So tell me how to use the minus operator.
Select.
Now someone is saying we can go for the minus operator. Try to give the answer. How to use the minus operator? Select.
The columns are not same. So
Okay.
What is the purpose of minus operator? To get
Difference.
unmatched records of
match records.
first table. Now
First
tell me,
table.
as per the requirement, you want to get the unmatched record of which column? For the PID column. So I can give it as a select PID from which table? I'm giving first table as a, for example, claims table. Next I'm giving minus. Next I'm giving select PID from policy table. Tell me, is the correct query or wrong query?
Combining vertically, right?
No. So as part of using the minus
So only
operator,
one
what is going to
column.
happen? As part of using the minus operator, what will happen? It will give all the unmatched records of the first query or all the unmatched records of the first table. And now in this query, what is the first table? Claims table. What is the second table? Policy table. As part of execution of this query, what will happen? It will take all the PIDs of the first query. It will take all the PIDs of the second query. Now it is going to perform the comparison. 101 is a matched record, 102 is a matched record, 103 is a matched record, 104 also a matched record, 103 is a matched record. Which is the unmatched record? 105. Now you tell me is the correct answer or wrong answer? It's a perfectly correct answer. Andy. Whomever given the answer by using the minus operator, I can able to say that is the perfect answer, correct answer. Definitely this person can able to get the job. See, you people are focusing on, here we are discussing about the joins, so I need to go for the only joins, and don't think like that. That's why I'm saying that understand the requirement, analyze the requirement, try to think about whatever the topics we discussed in the previous classes. And earlier what we discussed, whenever you want to get any unmatched records from the first table, then what we can do? Simply we can go for minus operator, or you want to tell me, if I'm going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? This output or any other output? It is going to give all the unmatched records of the first query from the claims table. It is taking all these values. Out of all these values, which is the unmatched record in the second table or second query? Only 105. That's the reason it is simply going to give output as a policy ID 105. Indirectly, I can able to say this is the perfectly correct answer. But now my one more requirement is, without using the minus operator, I want to achieve the requirement.
Yes, sir. Like,
Okay.
can
Sir, please
modify
ignore
the
it.
first
You
query?
got the answer. Why you are worrying? I'm not worrying. So we are trying to understand different ways, and by using minus,
Yes.
we can able to achieve the requirement.
Yes.
Without using minus operator, how we can able to achieve the same requirement?
Sir, here we can go with the right outer join. And can you modify the first query? I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me. So here you
Yeah,
want to go for
instead
right
of-
outer join. Okay.
Yeah, instead of giving not equals to, you can give equals to.
Okay. The online people are
And
giving
then-
some answer, and I'm typing here. Okay.
And where customer ID is null.
Customer ID. Why customer ID came into the picture?
Because here, right, what happens is when right outer join in the sense.
Okay, I will tell you. Andy. So this is a kind of a
table
partially
is
correct answer. I will let you know here. So just observe. As per the requirement, what you want to get? You want to get the unmatched record. Whenever you want to get the unmatched record, as we discussed earlier, we can go for the minus operator. But what I'm asking now, is there any other approach without using the minus operator? So already we discussed about this statement. Whenever you want to get both matched plus unmatched records, what we can do? What kind of join we can able to apply? We can go for outer join. This is the one more topic already we discussed, Randy. Whenever you want to get both matched plus unmatched record, we can able to go for the outer joins. Indirectly, by using the outer join, what we can able to get? You can able to get the unmatched record. Now here, what is the requirement? I want to get the unmatched record only. So what we can do here, by using the outer join, we can able to achieve the requirement. Now coming to this query, I am going to apply the outer join. But what outer join we need to apply in this query, in this example? From which table you want to get the unmatched record? From the claims table or policy table? From the claims table. Now you tell me, in this example, which table is acting as a main table?
Claims table.
In this example, claims table
Claims
is going to
table.
act as a main table because
table.
from the claims table I want to get the orphan record and
Yes.
in the previous requirement policy table is a main table, but in this example claims table is going to act as a main table. Now tell me in this query where we are given the claims table, top or bottom? Bottom. If you are giving it as a bottom, what type of join we need to apply? We need to apply the right outer
Left
join.
join.
So for example here I am giving it as a right outer join. So because claims table is a main table, for that reason here I am giving this as a right outer join. After that I am applying the condition here. Now you try to give the answer. If I am going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? First tell me what is the output we are going to get if I am going to run this query. Or for your convenience only, just what I will do here is I will give it as a p.pid also. We'll remove it later, but tell me up to here if I'm going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? Or how many columns we are going to get? We are going to get 2 columns. One is the PID column and other one is also the PID column. And now what is the output? First one is coming from claims table, second one is coming from the policy table. We are applying what type of join? We are applying the right outer join. Now when we are applying the right outer join, what is the step 1? It will give
All the
records
all
from
the
the
records of
right
the
side.
right table. Now what is the right table? Claims table. In the right table, what values we are having? All these values, and just I'm putting all the values here. This is the step 1. Now what is the step 2 in the right outer? From the left table, wherever we are having the matched records, it is going to give the matched values. And for 101, we have the matched record, which is giving value as a 101. And for all these also we have the matched records. And for 103 also we are having the matched record. What is the third step in the right outer? In the left table, wherever we are having the unmatched records, for those records, what data it is going to populate?
Null.
It will populate the output as a null. Indirectly, as part of running this complete query, this is the way you are going to get the data. You are going to get the 2 policy IDs. One is from the claims table, one is from the policy table, and we are going to get output as all the records. But tell me, as per the requirement, you want to get all the records or you want to get only one record?
Only one record.
Now, out of all these records, which record you want to get?
105.
This record, right? Why you want to get that record? Because that is the unmatched record. That's the reason that record you want to populate. Now you tell me what modification we need to perform on this query to get only this record. Up to here, if I'm going to run this query, it will give all the records. But my requirement is I want to get only unmatched record. For that reason, in this query, what modification we need to perform?
For where condition?
Where condition? Okay.
Where p.pid
is
null.
It's very simple, and up to here, if you are going to run the query, we are getting all the output. But my requirement is I don't want to get all the output. I want to filter out the only null values. And what is the meaning of null value in this example? Null is nothing but it's a kind of a unmatched record. As per my requirement, I want to fetch the unmatched record. That's the reason I want to filter out the null values. How to filter out the null values? Earlier we discussed, right? By using the is null operator. That's the reason I'm giving it as a PID is null. But for this PID, what is the alias name we need to give?
p.pid.
P.pid or C.pid?
p.pid.
Where we are getting the null values here?
Policy.
In the policy table, we are getting the null values. For that reason, here just give it as a p.pid is null. Okay. Now, once I'm going to run this query, now what is the output you are going to get? You are going to get all the records, or you are going to get only this record? You will get only this record. And if you are not going to apply the where condition, then it will give all the records. But once we are going to apply the condition like this, then what will happen? It will give only this record. But how many columns you are going to get in the output?
2 columns.
2 columns. But my requirement is I want to get only 1 column. So what I need to do?
I need to remove c.pid.
c.pid.
Need to remove.
You want to remove c.pid or p.pid?
p.pid.
For example, here I am giving the c.pid. What will happen?
Null.
No, 10.
If I am given the c.pid, then only you are going to get output as a 105. Now, for example, instead of giving the c.pid, here I am given the p.pid. Now, what will happen?
The null value.
Null will come.
So just now I written the complete data also, Randy. From the p.pid, what's the value it is populating? Null. You are going to get output as a null, but you want to get output as a null, or you want to get output as a 105? I want to get the value as a 105. This 105 is coming from which table? Claims table. So you need to give the c.pid or p.pid?
c.pid.
You have to give the c.pid. With that only you can able to get output as a 105. This is the way also by using the right outer join you can able to achieve the requirement. But tell me, really do we need to go for only right outer join? Can I apply the left outer?
Yes,
Here,
sir.
Yeah, we can apply
Yes,
leftover.
we can.
for example, here
But
I want to
before
apply
that,
the
sir,
You can just
1 second, Andy. I'm applying the left outer. If you are going to apply the left outer, what's the modification we need to perform?
tables we have to
Just change the position of the tables. That's it.
position of the
By depending on your convenience only, either you can go for left outer or right outer. 1 second. So whenever you are going for left outer or right outer, what we have to do here? You need to define the position of the table properly. By depending on the position of the table, either you can achieve the requirement by using the left outer, or we can able to achieve the requirement by using the right outer. So don't worry about when we need to go for left outer or right outer. First understand what is the main table in the requirement. By depending on that position of the main table, either you can apply the right outer or you can apply the left outer. Indirectly, if you observe here, to achieve the same requirement, you can go for minus operator, or you can go for right outer join, or you can go for the left outer join. By depending on your convenience, you can able to frame any one of the SQL query. Okay. Yeah, some people are trying to ask the question.
sir, one thing.
Now 1 second.
So-
offline people are asking the question. Just 1 minute. Then you need to ask the question. So you don't know what is the data you are having in the table, then we can raise the, as part of interviews also, whenever you are getting such kind of doubts, we can ask the reverse question. For example, he is given the tables to you, policy table and claims table, and they are asking the question, I want to get the R1 record from the claims table. For example, they are given the requirement, then you can ask the question, can you please give us some sample data? They will give the sample data to you. With that, you can understand the requirement properly. With that, you can able to write the queries as part of your interviews. If you are going to work in the real time, there is a requirement to get the R1 records only, but you could not able to understand without seeing the data. Then you can write the question, can you please share the sample data? By seeing the sample data, I can prepare the proper query. They will give the sample data to you. By seeing the sample data, you can frame the queries as part of our real-time system also. It's clear? Okay. Yeah, online people, you're asking something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
please.
here the where condition, after processing the right join, left join, that where condition should apply, right? So
Yes,
that will go as a subquery, or because PID is null, is null, we don't have any field like that, right? After like processing of the left join or right join, then only as after output of that result, this where condition is applying, right?
Now, how this query will execute here is, first it is going to perform all the join operation. On top of the join result, it is going to apply the where condition. What is going to happen here? First step, it is going to apply all the join operation. After completion of the join operation, then it is going to apply the where condition. With that, it is going to give the data on top of your output. Is it clear?
Yeah,
this is the order of execution of the query. In the first step, it is going to apply the join. After the join, it is going to apply the where condition. Based on that, you are going to get the data in your output. Okay. Any other questions still? Online people? Offline people, any questions? Is it clear, or is I'm making you confusion? Which one? This one? Okay. Now, this one? Okay. So I will put the one more column as a p.pid. Now see here, for example, forgot about the where clause for some few minutes. Up to here, I'm going to run the query. So if I'm going to run the query up to here, what will happen? It is, we are applying the left outer join. What is the meaning of left outer join? It is giving all the records of your left table as per this query. Again, it is going to give the two columns, the PID column and PID column. First one is coming from the claims table. Second one is coming from the policy table. Whenever we are going to apply the left outer, it is giving all the records of the left table, which is nothing but the claims table is a left table here. It is giving all these records. Okay. After that, what is the second step of the left outer? From the right table, wherever we are having the match records, we are going to get the corresponding values. For all these records, we are having the match record, we are getting the corresponding values like this. But for 105 in the right table, do we have any match record? No. That's the reason what will happen here. We are getting output as a null. Now, as per the requirement, you want to populate the match records or you want to populate only unmatched records? I want to populate only the unmatched record. For that reason, to populate only this record, we need to apply the where condition. In the where condition, we need to give it as a PID is null. But from which table you need to give the PID is null? In this example, from the policy table, whatever the PID we are getting, on top of that PID, we have to give it as a is null. So we are giving p.pid is null. Now, once we are going to apply the p.pid is null, what will happen? It will give only this record on top of your output. Indirectly, this query and this query both are going to give the singular record only. But only thing is nothing but just we are changing the position of the table. Whenever you are going to change the position of the table, we need to change the type of the join also. If you are given the policy table as a left table, we are given the right outer join. If you are given the policy table as the right table, here we are given the left outer join. By depending on the position of the table, either we are given the right outer or we are given the left outer. This is the way we can able to achieve the requirement. One last thing, I want to get the single column. That's the reason I am removing the p.pid and giving the only c.pid. It's clear? Okay. Any other questions still? Yeah, we'll tell you. We'll go. On top of this topic, any questions up to here? Just 1 second. Yeah, please. Not so if you observe whole the story, are we defining the left table or right table based on the requirement or based on the position you are defining? I think I typed it somewhere here and there. Yeah. See what I'm telling? First, we need to understand what is the main table of the requirement. Once you understand the main table, by depending on the position of the main table, either you can give it as a right outer or you can give it as a left outer. No one will stop you. For example, you are putting the main table as a right table, go for right outer join. If you are putting the main table as a left table, then you can go for the left outer. Indirectly, first you need to identify what is the main table as per the requirement. Once you understand the main table, by depending on your convenience, either you can go for left outer or you can go for the right outer. But by depending on the convenience in the sense what? By depending on the position of the main table where you are putting under. For example, if you are given the main table as a left table, go for left outer. If you are putting the main table as a right table, then you can go for the right outer. By depending on your convenience, either you can go for left outer or right outer after finding the what is the main table as per your requirement. Is it clear? Okay. Another question still? Online people or offline people? Any other questions? Is it clear? Okay. If it is clear, we'll try to understand one more requirement. Is it interesting or confusing or boring? None of the above.
Interesting, sir. Interesting.
Yeah, if it is interesting, well and good. If it is boring, no other option. Okay. So because you need to understand all these things, so far we discussed about employee table and department table example. When I'm discussing about this kind of real-time example, don't get the kind of a bore feeling or don't get the kind of a different feelings, because you need to understand the basics. In parallel, you need to understand the real-time examples also. When we are discussing about the real-time example, try to understand how we need to understand the requirement, how we need to analyze the requirement, how we need to frame the queries by depending on the requirement, because in the real time also we are going to perform the same kind of operations. And again, if you observe here in this query, what we are doing? We are applying the join in the combination of the is null operator. You know join, you know is null. You need to understand when we need to apply the combination of both the things. Based on that, you can able to frame the queries as part of our real-time projects. Okay. Now in the same way, here I will ask one more question, try to give the answer. I want to get the same orphan record, but requirement is without using minus operator and without using joins. Any guesses? See, my requirement is without using the minus operator, without using the joins, I want to achieve the same requirement only. So what we can do here? Select star from claims table. From which table you want to get the orphan record? From the claims table, I want to get the orphan record. Just I will give the condition as where PID not in. I am giving 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Now tell me, if I'm going to run this query, what is the output you are going to get? What I'm doing, select star from the claims table. From this table, we are going to get the data, and we are given the condition as where PID not in. What is the meaning of not in operator? Other than these values, whatever the remaining values we are having, only those values will be populating from the claims table. Now instead of given the star, I will give it as a PID. Now tell me what is the output of this query. If I'm going to run this query, automatically 101 is in operator present, 102 also present. Which is the one not in? Only 105. Sorry, 108 is my mistake. I'm giving 108. Now if I'm going to give the 101, 102, 3, 4, and 8, what is going to happen? Which value is not present here? Only 105 value. That's the reason it is giving only this record on top of your output. Indirectly, by using the not in operator also, you can able to achieve the requirement. But tell me, really can be able to pass all the output values like this?
No, we can't.
Because
sir.
of having only 5 records, you can able to pass the 5 values manually. But in my table, I'm having the 1 lakh records only. If you are having the 1 lakh records, then can we able to pass all the 1 lakh values like this? No, right? It's
No,
very
sir.
difficult, right? Then what we
Yes.
can do? Indirectly, what is the meaning of this 101, 102, 103, 104, and 108? All these values we are fetching from the PID column. Now, what I will do here is, instead of giving all these values, simply I will give it as a select PID
from
policy table.
policy.
Now you tell me, both the queries are same or both the queries are different?
Same.
Indirectly.
Same.
Select PID from the policy. What is the values we are going to get? Select PID from the policy.
All the
101,
PIDs,
102, 103, 104, and 108, and which is nothing but instead of giving the output values, what I'm doing here, I am passing the one more query called as a select PID from policy. Now, if you observe here, in the same query, how many queries we are using?
2 queries.
This is one query. Just for our understanding, I will give the different colors. This is one part of the query, and this is
Another
one more
query.
part of the query. Indirectly, in the same example, we are using the 2 different queries only. Now, one query we are giving in the red color, one query we are giving in the green color. Now, you tell me, whatever the red color query we are having, this query we are having in the outside the bracket or inside the bracket?
Outside.
It's outside bracket. That query only simply we can able to call it as a outer
query.
query. What about the green query?
Inner query.
Green query, whatever we are having, that is inside the bracket. That kind of query only we can able to call it as a inner query. Or we can able to call it as a subquery Sunday. Indirectly, this is the next topic which we are going to discuss. Next topic is nothing but subquery Sunday. But this topic we are going to start discussing at the 2:30 class. In the 2:30 class, we'll discuss about the subqueries. But before that, within the joins only, we need to understand few more topics Sunday. Just I will give one more example. Try to give the answer. Okay, for example, here I'm going to write the query like this, Andy. You try to give the answer. Once I'm going to run this query, how many records it will give in the output? So in the both the tables, we are having the ID column. Okay. Now we are given the query called as where is the query?
That is changed.
Just 1 second, I will type it again. Okay, now for example, this is the query I'm going to run. Now try to give the answer. This query will give how many records in the output?
4 records.
15. Sir.
Someone is saying confidently 4 records. Any other answers? Someone is saying 50 records online people. Offline people? 9?
No, 13 records.
Okay, someone is saying 13 records. Any other answers? Actually, this is not a real-time exam. This is a kind of one of the interview question. That's the just we are discussing here. What is the output of this query? Other than 4, 15, 9, 13. Any other answers? How many columns it will give first? 2 columns, ID column and ID column. What type of join we are applying?
Inner
join. What is the meaning of inner join? It will give
Match
only the match records.
Only
By
match-
considering only the
match
match records, how
records.
many records this query will throw?
4 records only.
4 records. Okay. It's a perfectly wrong answer. Any other answers? We'll go one by one only. Now tell me, it is going to perform the one-to-one operation or one-to-many operation? On the first day we discussed. It is going to perform the one-to-many operation. Now coming to first record in the second table, how many match records we are having?
2 records.
Two match records. So we are going to get output as a 1 1 again 1 1 for this record. I'm telling. Okay. Now in the same way, what about second record? Again, how many match records we are having?
2.
1 1 again
2.
1 1. This also covered.
Okay.
What next? Again 1. So how many match records we are going to get? 1 1 again 1 1. So this is the way we are going to get total. For these 4 records only, you are going to get total around 8 records on top of your output. And what about 2? How many match records?
4.
2 records.
4.
First 2. So we are having the 2 match records. Again coming to second 2. Again you are having the 2 match records. Okay. So this is also covered. What about 3?
Only
one match record. Coming to 4.
2.
2 records.
2 match records. This is my mistake.
13 records total.
Okay.
Okay. What about 5?
No
Do you
match.
have any match records?
No.
No, right? So that's the reason we are not going to get the output indirectly as part of execution of this query. Total how many records we are going to get, Andy? You are going to get total
13.
13 number of records. So whomever getting this answer, this is the correct answer. As part of execution of the join queries at any point of time, it is going to perform the one-to-many comparison, which is nothing but first record with all the records of second table, second record with all the records of the second table, third record, all the records of the second table. Already we discussed about this statement as part of our first day of the join session. And whenever we are going to perform the join operation, it is going to perform the one-to-many comparison. By considering that, what will happen? This query will give total 13 records on top of your output screen. Okay. Now, for example, same query I'm going to run, but in this query, what I'm doing here is I'm giving it as a simply left outer join. Now,
15, sir.
15 records with right table as null code.
15 records. Any other answers? What is the meaning of left outer join? It is giving all the records
Match
of the
records
left
from the
table,
left table.
and also wherever we are having the match records, we are going to get the respective values. Wherever we are having unmatched records in the right table, we are getting output as a null values. And now indirectly, all these are the match records or unmatched records.
Match records.
All these are the match
records.
records with the inner join. Now, whenever we are applying the left outer, what will happen? It will give the all the records of the left table. From the left table, which records are pending? We covered all the ones. We covered all the 2s,
5.
3s, and 4s. And what else are pending? Only these
5.
2 are pending. So I'm giving it as a 5 and 5. What about here?
Null.
We are getting it as a simply null. This is the way you are going to get the output if you are going to apply the left outer join on top of this whole requirement. Okay. Now, in the same way, for example, I am going to run the same query, but here I'm giving it as a right outer join. Then, how many records we are going to get?
13.
I'm applying the
13
right outer join on top of this data. What it will
30
do?
records.
It will give
30
all the records of the right table. In the right table, we are having 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, and it is comparing with all the records of the left table. As part of doing this comparison, what is going to happen? For one, we are having 3 records. Second one, 3 records. 2, 2 records. 2, 2 records. 3, 1 record. 4, 2 records. And with that, what will happen? Again, it is going to give the same kind of output, which is nothing but it will give total 30 records. Any questions? Please ask me here. Hope you are understanding. First output is for the inner join. Second output is for the left outer. From the left table, it is getting all the records. For that reason, it is adding these 2 records also. We are getting output as a total 15 records. And if you are going to apply the right outer join, what is happening here? It is giving output as a 13 records. Now, in the same way, one more requirement. I am going to apply the full outer join. Now, yeah, all the records. How many records total?
15.
15.
We are going to get
15
kind of
15 records on this.
So because from the right table to left table, total we are having the 13 matched records only, and only these 2 are the unmatched records.
Unmatched
But in the right table, we don't have any unmatched records. For that reason, what will happen? This query will give output as a total 15 number of records. This is the way simply we can understand how many records we are going to get on top of this data. Whenever we are having the duplicate records, automatically what will happen? It will give the duplicate values only on top of your output. Again, this is the one of the interview question. In the interview, they will give the data like this. On top of the data, they will ask the question, how many records this query will throw in the output. Okay. In the same way, just I will ask one more last question, try to give the answer. Okay, now tell me, if I'm going to run this query, how many records we are going to get? This is the data in the table. If I'm going to run this query, how many records we are going to get?
2 records.
2 records for inner join.
2 records. Any other answers? 4. What is the purpose of inner join? It will give only match records as per the join condition. Now indirectly here, coming to 1 to 1 is a match record, so we are getting output as a 1 and 1. What about 2? 2 also a match record, we are getting output as a 2 and 2. Coming to 3, is there any match record? No. What about null? Null equal to null. Is it a valid condition or invalid condition?
Invalid condition.
Say invalid condition. Why is the invalid condition? As we discussed earlier, whenever we are going to perform any comparison operations on top of the null, it is giving output as a 0 records only. For example, if I'm giving 100 is equal to null, what's the output? It's giving output as a 0 records, because it's not a kind of a valid condition, or whenever we are going to perform the comparison operations on top of the null, we are getting output as a 0 records only. For example, if I am going to perform the arithmetic operation, then it will give output as a null. 100 plus null is giving output as a null. Now for that reason, if I am going to apply the inner join here, what will happen? This query will give output as a only 2 records on top of your output. It is not going to consider the null values only. For that reason, it is giving only these 2 records. Okay. Now in the same way, you try to give the answer. If I am going to run the same query by using left outer join, no?
5 records.
I am applying the left outer join. What would be the output?
3 records.
3 records.
3 records.
5.
What is the meaning of left outer?
Sir, all the records.
It's giving all the records of left
Records from
table,
the
either
left
it's a
side.
matched record or unmatched record. It is giving all the records of your left table. Now in the left table, how many records we are having?
5
5
records.
records.
Total 5. Okay. Now coming to 1 to 1 matched record, 2 to 2 matched record, but coming to 3, no matched record, we are getting it as a null.
Null.
4 and 5 also is a kind of a unmatched record only, so we are getting it as a null and null only. And so which is nothing but it is giving total 5 records on top of your output. Okay, I'm not covering right outer, full outer. As part of doing the practice, you can try for that. But as part of execution of this query, by applying the left outer, it is giving all the records of the left table. That's the reason it is giving these 2 null values also. For that reason, we can able to say this query will give total 5 records on top of your output screen. It's clear? Okay. Any questions so far up to here?
Why this null will take in the full outer join? It's already null.
Yes,
It will
sir.
not match.
But what is the purpose of left outer? By default, it will give all the records of left table. That's the reason it is automatically populating those data
Okay,
into your output.
default it's okay. Directly it's taking.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Any other
Not
questions?
matching with that. Yeah.
Offline people, any questions?
Could we take more than 2 tables in left outer and right?
Sorry, come again.
Could we take more than 2 tables, means 3 or 4 tables?
Yeah. So yeah, that's one more topic pending until, so we'll discuss about that also. So someone is asking more than 2 tables join.
And cross joins also will be there, right?
Yeah, we'll cover it. So we have the cross joins, we have the self joins. I know everything. Okay, we'll cover everything one by one. Okay, I am asking the question. Any questions up to here? I'm not asking any pending topics.
Sir, without minus or without this subquery, can't we do this unmatched record with joins?
As per my knowledge, no. If you have any solution, please let us know.
No, I'm asking, sir.
No, just I'm also telling you. So I'm not pointing you. So as per my knowledge, by using the minus operator, by using the outer join, or by using the subquery, we can able to achieve the requirement.
Okay.
If you know any other solution, just let us know.
Okay.
Okay.
One more thing, sir.
Yeah, please.
In the assignments also, we are getting a lot of questions and we are solving that one. We could find out a single question with multiple answers, but we can't understand which one is the best.
No, can you repeat your question? I didn't get that.
In the assignments, while I'm doing, and one question could be solved with different methods. Okay, but we could not find out which one is the best. At that time, we did what?
No, as part of assignment, whatever the solution you found, please focus on the solution only. Work on that only. Because that is the assignment and that you are doing the practice without knowing all the concepts of database only. That's the reason whatever the solution you found, please work on that only. With that, you can able to continue on all the questions in this assignment. If you are focusing on the multiple solutions, what is going to happen? It will take more amount of time to you to complete the assignment. Whatever the solution you found, please continue with that only. Don't think for multiple solutions.
So, sir, few questions are there. I want to discuss on that one.
I will discuss later about that. Any other questions?
Okay.
Okay, so few more topics are pending in the join Sunday. I know about all these things. So more than 2 tables, how we need to join. So this is the one of the topic. Other than this, cross join and self join. So we'll discuss about all those topics in the afternoon session if possible. And once we are going to complete all these topics, then we are going to discuss about some other topics. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today. So we'll meet you at again 2:30.
Hello.
Sir, regarding yesterday's example, sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, 1 second. Just 1 second. People who don't have any kind of questions, you can leave for the day. People who are having the questions, stay here. Yeah, now please continue on.
Sir, I heard about null join. Do you aware of that?
What join?
Null join.
Null join. What is the null join?
Even I don't know, but in one of the interview,
I don't know about this.
Even I didn't get anything from Google also.
Yeah, as per my knowledge, null join is not available. But if they're asking anything different, I don't know about this. I haven't heard about null join so far in my experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
yeah, please.
About yesterday's example, sir, could you please explain that right outer join regarding yesterday's example?
Okay, tell me which example you are talking. This is the yesterday's notes, they interpreted notes.
Yes, sir.
I am asking which example.
Employee table and department table.
Yeah, for employee table and department table, we discussed about multiple examples. I am asking which example you are having the question or what is the question tells you.
Yes, sir, the first one, sir, from 108, line number 108.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir. Their right outer join once. Can you summarize once again? I'm getting a little bit confused.
This one. Okay. What is the confusion? Can you please?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What is the confusion?
Yes, sir. The internal database working, how it functions and all that. So I tried this, but according to the notes points explained yesterday, I tried that, but the output pattern was a little different from what I expected.
Yeah, so see here, so as part of right outer join, what will happen? We give all the records of the right table. Okay. So here, what is the right table? This is the right table. Department table is going to act as the right table. So from this table, it is populating data for 10xx, 20yy, 30zz, and also it is going to populate data for 50aa. Okay. After that, from the left table, wherever we are having the match records, it is going to populate data for all those records only. Now for 10, how many match records we are having here? We are having the 2 match records. For the reason, it is giving this record and also this record into your output. Okay. And for 20 also, how many match records we are having? 2 match records. You are going to get this record and this record also into your output. Okay. And for 30, you are having the 1 match record. You are going to get this record. But tell me, for 40, for 50, do we have any match record here? No, right? So in the left table, wherever we don't have any match record, we are going to get corresponding values such as null values. For that reason, this query will give these null values on top of your output.
And about the internal functioning, will it consider first the matched records or will it first go through right table records?
As part of understanding, we need to think about what is the matched record or what is the unmatched record. As part of comparing your output, please verify the complete output. Because when it is given the output, it is not given the first matched record, next unmatched. It's not given the data like that. As part of explaining, I'm telling that it is given the all the records, then matched record, then unmatched record. That is for understanding. Okay. But whenever you are going to run the query in the database, what will happen? It is giving all the records at a time. Once you are going to get the data in the output, then compare that output with your Excel data. Then if both are matching, then you can able to say everything is matching.
Okay. Necessarily the order should not match, right?
No, it's order is not. Don't consider about the order. You need to ensure that all the records are coming or not. Okay, because here what I'm doing, I am writing all this data manually in the Excel sheet for understanding what we are discussing. First, we are discussing it is giving all the records, then it is given the matched record, then it is given the unmatched record. That is for our understanding. Okay, but as part of execution of the query internal, what will happen? It will throw all the records at a time. When it is giving all the records, it might be coming in any order. We don't know in which order we are going to get the data. That's the reason. Don't worry about the order of the output. You need to worry about whether all the records are matching between your Excel sheet and your output. For example, in your output might be your data is coming like this. Instead of getting the data like this, you are getting these two records, might be first records, these two records.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, might be up and downs will come on, but you need to ensure that whether all the records are coming, that you need to check. Okay, don't worry about the order. So we are not discussing about order. Why we are discussing like that to understand. Okay, as a student, you need to understand how it is working internally, right? That's why we are discussing about all those things. But as part of getting the output data in the output screen in our database side, it will give all the records at a time. Don't think that it will give the first set of data, second set of data, something like that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah, thank you.